To build anything that truly lasts, it takes time.
Understand that what does it mean for the company and what could be the impact on the stock price. Aditya Shah, who is the founder of Hercules Advisors, joining us on the show. Hi Aditya, morning. So it's been a miss versus the street estimates for Kotak. How do you expect the stock to react today?
Not so great set of numbers. The loan growth at about nearly about 17-18%. The deposit growth is about 12%. The really concerning part was that the asset quality deteriorated. The unsecured side of the book really has some pain, not only for Kotak but across the system. The unsecured book is seeing a lot of headwinds. IDFC First Bank also reported its numbers, and micro lending there was also a pain point. So from my perspective, asset quality is not great. Deposit growth is also lacking, and as the management also alluded, the margins are a temporary phenomenon as the interest rate cut is passed on the loan side of the book, but the deposit side will take some amount of time before it is repriced. So from my perspective, a softish set of a number, and the market will not take this positively. I believe some sort of negative reaction on the stock price will be seen, after which the stock price will stabilize, and next quarter results will be the thing that the stock price will watch.
Right, so all eyes are going to be on how next quarter shapes up for Kotak. But Aditya, hi, morning. Want to understand the number that we've seen on the provisioning front, because what a massive spike on that front, more than 2 times is where the provisioning has reached now. What do you think the company or the bank rather is provisioning for? What are some risks that the company is fending against right now?
As I said, that on the unsecured side of the book really remains a concern across the system. Mind you, Bajaj Finance flagged off the consumer leverage that all Indians are taking. It's really very high, and that is leading to a lot of NPLs within the system. So, from my perspective, banks and the NBFCs need to be really very cautious on the unsecured side of the book. A lot of systemic NPAs are coming about, and as you were saying, some amount of job losses are also occurring within the IT space. This compounded by the fact that the economy is slowing down a little bit. NPAs are on the rise. Lenders need to be really very careful. Not only Kotak, across the entire system, only ICICI Bank was able to maintain its asset quality. All other bank and NBFCs saw some amount of deterioration in their asset quality. So, from my perspective, systemic issue. This will subside as the lower interest rate comes into the system, and the loan growth picks up and people start to pay about. But these are not so good times for lenders. This quarter was really bad for almost all lenders, and this will take some amount of time, at least 2 to 4 quarters, before this settles down.
Sure. Aditya, let's focus on the good as well, because, Kotak Bank management in their commentary have highlighted that delinquencies have peaked out when it comes to the MFI segment. They're talking about an improvement playing out in the second half. They're talking about stabilization in Karnataka from what was the case in the Jan to March quarter. They're talking about new launch of products in the card segment as well. They're talking about as to how, the card business will also come back quite well. Would you think that the asset quality pressures would bottom out with this quarter, or do you think there could be more in the coming quarters to come?
I think by Q2, almost all banks and the entire system would bottom out. And from there on, it will take at least Q3 and Q4 for this to stabilize. We've seen other banks as well report asset quality slippages, but those slippages are bottoming out. So from my perspective, I feel that at least 1 or 2 quarters more where the asset quality starts to stabilize, and from there on, slippages become lower and lower. Microfinance for almost all banks continues to be a major pain point. The lender For example, Bandhan Bank has reported massive slippage, nearly about 3 times increase in slippages of pure play microfinance centers. So, from my perspective, I think 1 or 2 quarters more before which stability returns, and in cut in the interest rate is a positive for almost all lenders, and banks should benefit from Q3 and Q4 onwards.
All right, Aditya, with this, we'll let you go on that. Really appreciate you taking the time out and speaking with us. So that was about Kotak Mahindra Bank. The earnings are through.